Well, good morning, folks. Good morning. Another beautiful day, getting closer to Christmas. Today is the 18th of December, 2025. Our year is quickly coming to an end, and our scene is quickly going forward. So we've got Nora doing her bit here. Let's see here. So we got, see, I think we've got all the in-betweens. Yeah. So yeah, we haven't missed any in-betweens in here. Everything is there. And Lenny was coming into frame. Okay. So, well, it's a thought here as to whether or not we want to let the scene stop here and go to a new scene. I'm inclined to let that be the case. Let's see. So let's see, they're disappearing. Why are they disappearing there? Oh, because the scene comes into an end there. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, in that case, then let's delete the drawings. Boom. All right. So that the scene is that long. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we'll stop the scene here. All right. So then, so now the next thing, of course, is going to be the color, cleanup and color. So let's see, we will bring this back to a full size, fit the window, and we will take the, well, what we'll do is we'll take our background drawing here. Well, we'll leave it as it, well, we'll do the characters first. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to add a layer here. All right, each frame is 2 frames, so what we're going to do here is, if you can see up here at the top, I've added another layer, and what we'll do here is we will label this layer as color, because we're just going to do our cleanup in color as we go. So, all right, so we're going to add after, until we have a drawing, a blank drawing on the layer above that's color for every single image that we have. I like to do it this way because I don't know why I like to do it this way. There's a reason why. There's a reason I forgot what it was. Oh well, anyway. I guess it's like having a sheet of paper ready to clean up, not having to make the paper. I mean, of course, making it in this case is just clicking, and there it is. So it's not like you're actually making anything. But I don't know. I think just having it there automatically is, I don't know, easy. All right, so we got now a blank image for each one. Now, so we're going to go to the roughs layer, and we're going to bring the opacity down. So we'll bring it down to, I don't know. We basically need to bring it down low enough so that it's easy to distinguish it from everything else. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is pull up my model so I know what color to paint Nora. So let's see. Pull up my models. Right. Okay. I keep my models in my well, actually I keep them on the desktop. You may or may not be seeing this. My guess is you're probably not seeing it. Anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling this up and I'm putting it on my over here on my other monitor so that I can see it. and work. Okay, so I go to the brushes. Now I need to change the brush to the solid brush, which is the top one here. And Nora got the black hair, of course. We have it set at 7 pixels. So let's see. I think we'll blow this up a little bit so it'll be easier to see. I'm going to make it 5 pixels. My daughter making her fun noises in the background. Alright, so get the hair done here. One thing I like about working digitally like this is that in the old days you'd have to do your inking first and then somebody else would paint it. And that was because we had a production. We just had a way of doing production where different people did different things. But with the digital, it's kind of nice because I just go straight to a finished thing. Because I don't know, to me it makes more sense. You don't have to wait for paint to dry, which is nice. You can just go right ahead and ink what you want to ink, and you're good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm surprised I chose to make Nora's nose be given a black line. But I see that in the drawing here she does have she has eyelids, so the eyelids are going to be a color. Let's see. But let's see, that's her chin. And so the eyelids are here, like this. Right. And her arms are also going to be painted this color. In Rough Animator, you can pull up a palette where you can have your colors ready to go, as you're working, which is, of course, very convenient. There we go. All right. She's got the pink lips here. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. I guess I have to decide what color I want to make the block. Well, let's see. I don't know. I think I'm going to make it multicolored. Yeah, so, okay, and I'm going to, since the block's is straight, I'm going to use a line. I'm going to use a line tool on it. Yeah. Looks better that way. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do, though, with this box is I think I'm going to make it different colors on different sides. Yeah. I just want to, I think that would be cool. Okay, let's see. She's got the peach, or the shirt is kind of a, let's see, what is it? I think that's the line here. The shirt. There. Okay. This goes there. And, oh yeah, and the pants are blue. Okay. Okay. Let's see. She has, let's see. Remember here. I think it'll say, oh, she has a dark blue shoe. Okay. So let's see. I guess what I could do here is carry this line over there. Erase a bit of that. Okay. So let's see. Your skin color is this. Let's see. Is that working behind? That's working behind. Okay. I think this is the color of her shirt. I think. So work behind. Yeah, that's right. Pants are the same color there. That color. All right. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Behind. Okay, and the shoes are darker color, like this. Okay. Behind. Okay. There's a feature in Rough Animator that's called draws behind, draws in front and draws behind, which is very handy, if you're wanting to separate a line or a color that you want to be on behind the character. You can use that function. It'll put the line or the color that you're doing behind something, which sometimes you need to do. So let's see. On this block, I think I'll paint the top red. Let's see the side, maybe green. And the front here, yellow. That's kind of cool. All right, that's a nice diverse look. I don't think we need to bother with the numbers because, we've already done all of our in-betweens, so there's no need to transfer numbers at this point. We're good. Okay, so I go to the next frame. And I think we can also turn off the onion skin here because we don't really need that. All right, so, okay, on the second one, now this is what's nice about this too, is that now that you've got a frame that you've painted, in a sense that frame sort of becomes your model now. So you can flip back and see what color did you use. So I don't need to look at my model sheet anymore because I've got the color in the previous frame that I just did. And I can always flip back to that first frame and see it, which saves me time. And I'm just cleaning these up straight along. Now see, cleanup this way is quite different from cleanup back in the day when I was being trained at Disney. Back in the day, we had to try to put things on model, which a lot of times meant that we had to restructure the drawing, and there was a lot of stuff that had to be done because the animator's drawings were so rough that, we'd have to go back over the animator's drawings to put them, as we would say, on model or close to model. But you're doing your own film. You don't have anybody. You're not going to have anybody that's going to do that for you. Well, I mean, let's put it like this. You probably can't afford to have somebody do it because it would cost money that you probably don't have. So, yeah, I mean, I do my own cleanup and paint, but I don't do a redraw. But then I tend to animate in a fairly clean fashion. I pretty much, the way I draw it is the way I want it to look. So, and that also has an effect on your total production because the beauty of anything really is if you know what it is you want to do, just do it. We have a methodology to animation where we do things a certain way, and it's understood that there's certain rules to how we do what we do. But the reality is, when you're doing your own film, or even if Even if you're doing the film with other people, if you know how you want to do it that way. Don't feel that you're boxed in and that you've got to follow a system. You come up with what works for you. Okay, so if it works for you and you can implement it and it gets the job done, in the end game, that's really all that's really important. To be honest, if you can get it to work, if it's working, it's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Um, you know, you do what you need to do, okay, and get her done. So when I'm doing my cleanup on these things and my color, I tend to do the cleanup and the color at the same time, and I do that primarily because it's just faster, you know. And so I just use every trick I've got because the way I see it, animation is just so labor intensive. There's just so much stuff you've got to do, you know. It's just remarkable when you think about it that we can actually finish these things because of just the sheer amount of work that's involved in making a film. So I look for anything that's going to make my job a little easier. That's just the way I think. So there you go. And here's the other thing too: is that uh, you know, golly, had we had digital paint back in the day, I mean, I think the ink and paint department would have been very happy if they had something like this. We could have done a lot faster. And when it did finally happen, when we did finally get the ink and paint and all that, it was a boon to the world of animation. So, and that's like anything. It's like what AI is, right? AI right now, people are all worried about it and upset about it, thinking it's going to take away everything. But I look at it like, I think this is just another great advance of technology, and it really comes down to how it's used. So if you use it right, I think you can get a lot of good use out of it. That's my humble opinion. So, if you think it's going to take your job away, um, I think the only way it can take your job away is if you allow it to take your job away. That's just my take on it. And that would just mean that you're just lazy enough to not do what you need to do to protect your job. And then protecting your job might mean that you need to learn something about AI. So learn something about AI. Look to see how can AI help you do your job more efficiently, because it probably can. Whoops, that's on the front. So also too, there's all these wonderful little things like undo. When you make a mistake and you can just immediately get rid of it, like it never even existed. I just think that is just so cool. So many things that make working digitally just a joy, in my opinion. Okay, we got two done. And she's starting to turn here. Okay, let's see. Okay. For those who are new, once again, I usually say this at the head end, but I just jumped right in this time. But what I'm doing with this tutorial in each case is this is a film I'm making, and I'm just basically allowing you to look over my shoulder, as it were, as I'm making it. And the idea that I had was that um, if you're learning animation or you're trying to make your own film and you're running into some of the same, you see some of the things I'm doing. If they're a help to you, then I'm here for you to help you in that sense. Because generally speaking, you learn best when you have someone there that can kind of show you. And so, anyway, that's what I'm doing here. Is I'm basically doing a demo in real time, so that you can see what I'm doing and the way I'm doing it as I'm doing it, which, in my opinion, as a teacher, is a lot more valuable to you than me doing the entire thing, time lapsing it, and then giving it to you that way. I see a lot of those types of tutorials, and they're fine, I guess. But I think that it's better when you can see someone doing something in real time. And also, too, there's another thing you need to be aware of is that it is going to take you time to make your film. I think one of the things that I find that is particularly nice about being an animator, oddly enough, you'd think I wouldn't say this, but actually is the work involved in making it. I actually enjoy it. I remember when I originally started to be an animator, and I found out how much work was involved. And I'm not going to say that it was something that I wanted to hear because it wasn't. But as time went by, I realized that there was a real joy to making animated films, and actually all of the work that was involved in making an animated film was kind of really part and parcel to the joy of making the thing. There's a kind of, I don't know, pride in it, or maybe it's not pride, maybe it's just accomplishment more than anything else. If you do something that you like and it turns out, pretty good, there's kind of a nice feeling that goes with that. So I think I'd have to say that part of the fun for me anyway of making this, in any animated production for that matter, is actually the amount of work that's involved in doing it. I don't really shy away from that work. To me, it's okay. I don't mind it. It's like, okay, so it's going to be a lot of work. Okay, so, whatever. I don't care. I don't mind. I see that as that's a necessary evil. I don't know any way around it. In other words, you're going to have the work has to be done. It's got to be done. So there's no shortcut to that. You got to put in the work, and that's good. I think it's good anyway. And yeah. So yeah. Gosh, it's funny just getting that behind there. Let's see. Let me try making that bigger. Oh, that is already 200%. Okay. What do we got? What are we missing? Oh, that's why. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't going in there. Okay. All right. Put the white behind the lips. Okay. What am I missing? Oh, all right. So, shirt is this color. There you go. Pants are blue. Oh, right. And then this is this color. Shoes. All right. Fill that in there. Let's see. Blue on the pants here. I always like to cover in these little cracks, but it's not always the easiest thing to do. And sometimes you have to work on top of it. So sometimes it's not always underneath. Sometimes it's on the top. Stuff will be peeking through that you don't want peeking through. Let's see. Red top, green side, and yellow front. There we go. All right. Well, I think we're going to have to stop here. Where are we? Yeah, we're at 24 minutes. Yes. All righty then. So we'll bring this back to fit the window. Boom. All right. So yeah, we're just getting started on painting this. But it won't be too long before we're done. It's really taking a peck at something each day. That's really what gets it done. It's like chopping down a tree. You got to keep hitting it in the same spot before you can knock the tree down. So, all right, good people. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to thank God for your good and all the wonderful things He does He's constantly working, whether we realize it or not. Well, His Word is working in our lives. So, anyways, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Hmm. Okay, so save.